Okay, so here Wednesday night at the weekly Owls match, I've just basically finished setting up the first stage and I wanted to go through it a little bit. And this is primarily for people who are setting up matches indoor as well, and maybe trying to deal with some of the limitations that we have as well. So I'm going to flip around here and kind of show you what we've got going here. Now on our range, we are not allowed to advance downrange here to shoot. Everything that we do has to be done from either in or behind the booths. And also, as you can see, we've got the soundboards on the walls, so we're not allowed to shoot into those walls. So very wide angle shots are pretty much out of the question. And we also haven't had a ton of money to work with here. So as you can see, this is a majority of the props that I have. We've got a set of barrels down there. We've got a few walls that either I made or were donated by one of the guys that comes in and shoots. We've got our paper targets. We've got tape. I do use a few steel targets on occasion, which I'll do a video about. And those are surrounded by some tires that catch the spalling. In this range, which is built by Action Target, we do have a fire suppression system. So there's a series of these sprinklers that we obviously don't want to be hitting with any bullet fragments. So as you can see, just pretty basic stuff. This is an idea that we got from one of the other local matches that shoots 22s. These are gas pipes. You can basically set them up like this. If you don't want your stand shot up, you can throw no shoots right there. They basically work really well as a steel substitute to actually be a knockdown target as opposed to the static steel targets that we use. So come back here, kind of show you what's going on. So as I move across the field here, I want to show you that basically what I'm looking for when I'm designing a match is I want to give people options. I want targets to be visible from different locations. I also want to have some targets with maybe a very thin viewing area to encourage good foot placement and stage design or stage planning and things like that. I also really like doing things like this here. If we look at target number 2 down there with the no shoot in front of it, essentially all you've got visible is the head box. As you come over here, you can get roughly half of the body visible there. But as you come over here, you can actually see it pretty much full on with nothing in front of it. You can also see that here on these 2 paper targets flanking the barrel. You can see as those become visible and disappear. Also the one with the black card cover. Basically get a full unobstructed shot here, and then it essentially disappears. And it does not reappear for the entirety of the stage. There's no place that you can see it again. So that can sometimes mess with people a little bit. They might forget about it or think they're going to come and pick it up later on the other side of the wall. Lo and behold, it's not there anymore. So once again, we've got some pretty severe limitations here. Essentially, we can move along this horizontal line right here. We can also go into and out of the booths, and that's it. So when we first had those limitations, it was fairly discouraging. We started doing some steel challenge and basically static only stuff. But then I realized if you're willing to put in a little bit of time, maybe create some stage designs that are a little bit different than usual, you can really come up with some stuff that allows you to create quote-unquote real stages, stages that require stage planning, that have multiple ways of shooting it. You can put very difficult targets up. You can put very tight shots up. So basically, if you have, for example, an indoor range locally, especially now in some parts of the country, like here in northern Utah, where the weather is getting pretty cold, snow's going to start showing up. It's getting dark very early, and you want to do some sort of weekly league or something like that. Most people aren't available until after work, and that's just really not possible outside. So if you've got an indoor range and have any interest, this is something you can start doing. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any. And as you can see, you can do it with a pretty small budget, and you can set up and take down pretty easily. So anyway, this is just to encourage people to get out to the indoor ranges, maybe talk to the owners, or if you happen to work there, start figuring out a way to do some sort of USPSA match indoors. We're obviously unaffiliated right now. I'm thinking about doing that next year to allow us to do classifiers and things like that. So give it a try.